Dental Fuel, the podcast that focuses on what no one else is talking about: mistakes. The dental world is full of before and afters, and no one is talking about the middle. Dental Fuel brings you the unspoken in between. Dental Fuel is brought to you by Ignite DDS Coaching, empowering dentists to build self-determined futures. Together, we're shaping the next generation of leaders in dentistry. Patience goes hand in hand with training and bringing in new assistants. In this episode, Doc and Don talk about some team mistakes and challenges. The teams, you all are really honing in on the importance of teams, and good and bad team members can make or break us. So I would love to know some team mistakes that you all have made and some challenges that maybe you have faced with different team members.
For us, it is very ongoing. Right now, we're currently going through interviews and just finding the right team member because in dentistry, as we all know, it could be very high stress environment
Mm-hmm.
at times, things like that. Working in a high stress environment and working 12 hours can be even higher stress. So our biggest thing is finding someone that's a good fit, good culturally fit for the team, good culture fit for the patients, understanding the patients, being empathetic, and being that energy for our team because we want to make sure we're empathetic and we're energized for our patients and for each other at all times. So for our team members, we have we've tried to give a lot of dental assistance, like especially I know it's very popular right now. The what is it, like the 3 month dental assistant programs, um, because like I think it's considered like this accelerated program. But one thing that we've noticed is that there's a lot. There's a lot they learn in that 3 month time period, but there's a lot that they don't learn as well.
Mm.
So being able to provide them with an opportunity, but having the patience that's needed for them can be something that comes off a bit daunting sometimes because one thing that I think we all know going through dental school, going through dental hygiene school, is that it takes a lot of grit. It takes
Sure does.
it takes so much grit. Sometimes you have to cry to get through these programs and be okay with it. You have to understand that I have to put my head down, get through it, do what needs to be done, learn what I need to learn so I can get to the other side of it. And so with the dental assistants in the programs, we've learned not that they're bad people or anything like that, but we have learned that sometimes it may be more of like a career change for some people, and that's perfectly fine. But they aren't as dedicated and determined when it comes to dentistry as someone that has gone through a 1 year, 2 year, or a 4 year program.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a learning curve that we're going through right now is figuring out what's actually a good fit as a dental assistant, what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Probably bringing on someone more seasoned so they have that opportunity, that patience to train someone to walk them through that so they're not thrown into the fire of dentistry of a full like 2 column schedule with a doctor and not necessarily knowing and being confident enough to hop in
Mm.
and do a root canal when they've never seen a root canal or they've never taken an x-ray on a live patient before and knowing what they need to know in the middle of a workday, managing patients, managing a schedule, managing different doctors and doctor personalities, learning sterilization, and so many other things that come along with
Mm-hmm.
dentistry.
Mm-hmm. I think it's so important to set your team up for success and giving them those tools to be able to, meet the standards of care and the expectation that's being set from the team. And so I think that that's excellent of just taking a step back and spending some more time with them, because you're right. We really don't know what's being taught at these programs, and so many are so quick that, some students are just in and out. And I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of different dental assistants, both seasoned and younger, and a lot of people don't feel like dental assistant or assisting is a career, and it is such a rewarding career.
It is.
I feel like many times some people think that it's just like a something that you do for a little bit and then you do something else, which it can be,
Hmm.
but it's such a rewarding career. And I think that we need to continue to value our dental assistants and our team members and encourage them to grow during their time in the practice, so that way they can continue to learn and love the profession that they're in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Any teeth mistakes?
Doc, do you have any thoughts on that?
She wrapped it up perfectly. I mean, that's really what it comes down
Yeah,
to.
Don, you said some really great stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, it just really boils down to the investment level,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like
Mm-hmm.
as dentists, you've invested at least 8 years to get to where you're at, right? If you're a
Mm-hmm.
hygienist, you've invested at least the amount of time it takes to get your associate's degree, but there's plenty of bachelor's holders when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
hygiene, right? So for somebody, who's invested 3 months and if you're doing this
Mm-hmm.
as maybe I'm trying this out versus like I'm committing to this, it's completely different. And as leaders, it's incumbent on us to be able to empathize with the fact that they are new to dentistry. I mean, it is very high stress. At the same time, though, right, our patients aren't a playground, right? This
Right.
is serious care that we're doing, and we got to make sure that we bring the best to the table every single day. There was one assistant in particular who was breaking into dental assisting, and he wanted to give it a try and I wanted to try with him as well. He was a previous Army veteran, so I always feel like if I can, I want to definitely try to provide opportunity. And I thought he had the stuff, and he thought he had the stuff, and we really wanted to give it a good try. I knew it was time when a patient called me after implant surgery and said that he feels like that assistant has to go. He said the experience with that assistant just was not pleasant. He's been to the practice many times, and there's never been any issues. And very rarely do I get a patient call me. I think that might have been the
I
only
Mm.
think that was the
time
only one.
a patient
Yeah.
ever called and said this assistant is not it. So to get that kind of call, it was a tough conversation to try to sit down
Mm.
and have, to look across the table from somebody who you told them that hey, I commit to help you provide food for your table, right? I commit to help you become the best version of yourself. But thank God it was actually a mutual understanding. By the time we actually sat down to have the conversation, he actually came forward and said, you know what, I don't think I'm going to reach the Empire standard. The standard in which we're all striving for here, based off of my limited time within dentistry, I don't think I'm going to reach it. So it's kind of a double-edged sword because it was like, now you're gonna have to start retraining somebody else. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, it did feel good knowing that we did have a standard and it was
Mm-hmm.
articulated in a way that somebody understands that maybe I am here or I'm not here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was a mutual parting at that wave, which was again was good for all sides. So now he doesn't feel like he's abandoned. I'm hoping he already had next steps lined up. No one's gonna
Mm-hmm.
come to you, all right, if they don't have a next step already lined up. So I know him and his family are going to be good, and our patient base is going to be good.
And I will add to that one thing that we learned, like that we've learned through this entire process when it comes to dental assistance, because we do want to make sure that we are able to provide that opportunity for people. So even for like this particular assistant, just seeing if there's another fit somewhere else in
Mm-hmm.
the office that works. But then we had to sit down and do some evaluation of the process in itself, and we figured, okay, well maybe coming in and doing shadowing first. So for any of the assistants that have gone through these accelerated programs, come in, do some shadowing, see what this looks like, even if it's a week, so you can see if it's a good fit for you. Because they probably have done maybe like 40 hours. I think they have required usually 40 hours of shadowing in a dental office, but a lot of them don't have an opportunity of actually being chair side with a dentist. So come do some chair side shadowing with a dentist, see if it's a good fit for you before you make that career change and quit the current job that you're working right now,
Mm-hmm.
because you have to love dentistry really to be in it. So that was one thing, one I guess piece of information that from that mistake we've learned. Okay, when it comes to hiring, if it's someone that may not know or they're kind of on the fence or they aren't as confident in the position or the role that they're walking into, come in, do some shadowing first, see if it's a good fit for you before on all parties that a decision is made.
So many moving parts in our profession, and yet
Yeah.
they're all so important and need our time and our energy to focus on, just to get it right. And it's hard, it's really hard sometimes, but it's so great to hear that you take time to evaluate and reevaluate and learn to have those tough conversations, because we know that those are difficult and definitely not something that we learn in dental school or any training before that.
Y'all don't
So
learn that
that's
in dental
wonderful to
school,
hear.
really?
Yeah.
No.
She does sterilization. I still don't know how to sterilize.
Oh
She
yeah.
learned that stuff. I didn't.
They teach
Thank
us,
God for
they
her.
teach hygiene how to run an entire office.
Nope.
They teach y'all how to do
That's good. That's good.
The heavy lifting of dentistry.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode with Doc and Don Ifedi. Next week, they're back sharing some expert advice. Ready to take the next step in your journey? Book an intro call with Ignite DDS Coaching today and level up your future in dentistry.